What are y'all wanting? What y'all want this morning? Isaac's coming. He's got some grub for you. And look, girls, no free ranging until y'all lay your eggs, because y'all been bad. I'm finding eggs all over the place, and y'all got to lay in your nest boxes first. Then you can come out for the day. Bon appetit. Hey, Mary, look at me. Honey, I think you're a little bit overkill on the clothes this morning. It's not even cold. Why is it you're wearing winter clothes?
Because I just do.
Oh, when it's warm, and then when it's cold, you're out here in t-shirt and flip-flops.
I know.
I don't know either, baby, but you do. Oh, well. You're going to be hot in a few minutes. Good morning, Mr. Carrot. How are you? Did you catch any mice last night or voles? I can't wait to see what y'all have left on the shed floor for us. You're a good kitty. Good morning, boys. How are y'all today? Hello, Boots. Hey, Boudreaux. Y'all ready to get your grub on? Come on, boys. Let's go. Beef sweet. No fighting. All right, where's y'all's dishes? Here's yours. Watch out, buddy. Do you want to see the sweetest horse in the world? Yes. This is Jolene, and she's the prettiest. She's the sweetest one. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Lost Marbles Farm. So today I'm going to tell you all about how to prune your raspberry patch if you have raspberries. If you don't have raspberries and you are thinking about purchasing some, I'll give you a couple of tips about that as well. But here is, thank you, Napoleon. We love you. So here's my patch behind me. It looks like a dead patch of stickers. But that is my most favorite patch that I have of berries. So I'm going to tell you a few tips, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so here is my raspberry bush, and this variety of raspberry is called a Heritage Raspberry. It's an ever-bearing raspberry. Now, before you select your variety of raspberries, you need to understand they're not all the same. Some are going to have a trellis. These are semi-climbing, so you really do not need a trellis for these unless you wanted to, but I have found that it's completely unnecessary. Now I am focusing more on pruning today, but since it is getting very close to the time of the year that you want to select raspberry bushes, now's your time to start looking for them, because you want to get them in the ground in the very early spring. And this is zone 7, so get that soil ready to get your plants in the ground. That means you're gonna need to amend it, because this is Tennessee and we've got a lot of clay in our soil. They do not like clay. They do not like rocky soil or weedy soil, or they don't like their feet wet. So if you have clay soil, what you're gonna need to do is get some sand and some peat moss and some good compost and really work your area. You wanna get it good and loose. You want it to be able to drain well and hold in its nutrients at the same time. So get some peat moss, get some sand, get some good compost, and really work the area that you want to plant your plants in. Now these Heritage Raspberries, they pretty much start blooming in June and go all the way through, I think we had some in November. So like the first frost, and even a little bit after the frost. You may have a few still surviving. So then you just want to kind of forget about them, because you want to wait to prune this time of the year, January, even February, even into March, when you first start to see some green coming up. There's different ways to prune, but for this variety, the easiest method is this. Right at the base. So I'm going to have Isaac come in close. I've got two different types of clippers here. I've got my little handheld clippers. I may need the big boys for the bigger pieces because my hands just aren't strong like that. You just come down here the soil line and you snip. That is basically how easy it is. Okay, come in here, snip. Watch me get my eye poked out. If you're a really safety, you're a safety person, you might wear some goggles. But I like to live dangerously. So anyway, you're clipping off at the bottom. Now, it may look like I am butchering these plants. However, as soon as the temperatures start warming up, you are going to see dozens and dozens and dozens of little tiny green leaves coming up. And believe it or not, this whole row of raspberries are going to be solid with plants. Which brings me to another point. As they're growing, if you do not thin out your raspberries, they're going to be so prolific that they will take over. They'll take over your yard and everything else around it. So as they're growing is a good time you want to divide them. Either if you have friends that might want some plants, dig up some of the plants, give it to them. If you don't have time for that, feed them to the rabbits, feed them to the goats. They love raspberries. So you want to thin them out. You don't just want to let every little green thing live, because if you do, they're all going to compete for those nutrients and they will not be as prolific in berry producing. So they like to be about 3 to 4 feet apart. So every year you're going to have to do this heavily, thin them out aggressively. And again, I know it's hard. Some people just have a hard time. They want to let everything live, and you think, oh, the more plants, the more berries, but that is not the case. So just remember, you got to get yourself into that mindset. Less is better. As you can see, it looks like there is absolutely nothing here. I can't wait to show you guys what it's going to look like in spring. You're just not going to believe it. And there's my little pile I got started over there. I'm going to go feed those to the goats. All right, guys, it is super windy out here and it feels so great. I am so excited about spring. Even the birds, the bees, and all the animals are just loving it today. So anyway, so I'm going to finish up the rest of this later because I've got to stop and take the kids to piano. Always something, always. But it is what it is. So I usually I have pockets of time where I can work and I do as much as I can when I can and finish when I can do it later. Anyhow, so yes, again, that's the Heritage Raspberry, and I have found that it works great for our zone. So if you are in zone 7 and are curious about a variety of raspberries. I highly recommend them. I did buy them from Stark Brothers, which we absolutely love Stark Brothers, because even Stark Brothers. So even if you fail the first time you plant them, all you gotta do is let them know, hey, my plants died, can you replace them? And they'll replace them for free, as long as it's within a calendar year of you buying them. I think it's just a calendar year. But they've always been really good to us, and everything that we've purchased has survived, unless it was my fault and they died because of me. But even then, they have replaced them regardless. So I highly recommend Stark Brothers. Look them up. And so yeah, try out some raspberries this year and find out that they're really a lot easier than you think, especially pruning. That's my favorite part because it's so easy. You just lop it off and walk away. So anyway, y'all take care. We'll see you on the next video. Look what I got. Oh, this is nice. Say yes, please.